I want to say that God loaned us the spirit that's in us. It belongs to Him. And so He's placed His spirit in us and placed us in the earth for a season and for a reason. And unfortunately, sometimes we become so distracted by trying to figuring things out, that it stumps our movement. And we sometimes become very stagnant. We don't move, we don't do, because we're trying to figure out what is it that I'm supposed to do. And the truth is, it's already in us, because we've been assigned on the earth at this time for a particular reason and for a season. And as long as the season is not over, then the reason is there to be fulfilled. I pray that today is the day that we move one step closer to fulfilling the reason why we're here. He hasn't told us how long the season is, but the reason is here, and it's actually in us. It's for us to embrace that and to walk in that and to pursue that, and not try to figure it out so much so as just totally being committed and submitted moment by moment. Because I realize, it has dawned on me, I'm Christine Columbus today, right? So it has dawned on me that submission for the moment is all that it takes, because each moment leads to another, and that leads to a lifetime. And so momentarily submitting, moment by moment, second by second, minute by minute, it leads and culminates into the fulfillment of the purpose that God has, the things He has us here to do. And not for us to underestimate the gifts that we have, because we all have them, whatever it is, whether it's in the marketplace, in the ministry, whatever, wherever. But there is something in us that we shouldn't keep quiet, and we squelch it and we keep it down and we subdue it and we subdue it, and it overflows and it pops up. And because we're afraid of making, I know I've been there, because I'm afraid of making wrong steps, I don't step. So because I want to be perfect in what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, making the right steps. And as a result of that, I don't move. So you remain stagnant. You don't move, because fear traps us. And fear is not of God, you know. And our faith is supposed to be that strong that it overcomes fears, that it moves us even when we don't want to move. Because the thing that is inside of us is so great that it continues to propel and pushes and drags. And sometimes it gets behind us and it pushes us, right? And sometimes the manifestation is in trials and rough times and challenges. And, you know, sometimes you become isolated. I've been there. You become isolated. You become separated from others, and sometimes we don't understand it. I don't understand it. They don't understand it. But God does what He does, when He does, how He does, and we just have to trust Him with the process. And so I think we have to just make sure that while we wait, or while we state, whatever it is, but while we wait or while we stand, and when we try to figure it out, because we're always trying to figure it out, right? But while we're doing what we're doing, we have to understand that God is also at work. And what I love about Him is that no matter what, He's able to use that, no matter what it is. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing that no matter what the mess, no matter how messy it is, no matter how smelly it is, no matter how horrible it is, the reality is, if we're able to submit that to Him, if we're able to give control over to Him, if we allow Him to take it. And I realize that taking it doesn't mean that we're exempt from dealing with the ramifications of what that thing is. Whatever it is, whatever happens in our lives, there are residue, I call them side effects, right? There's stuff that happens, side effects. But the reality is that God is able to use those, not just for us, but for others. It's incredible how He does that. And so I just want to say today again that it sounds cliche when we say trust in the Lord, but really we just got to trust Him even when we don't understand it. There's a lot I don't understand. I argue a lot with Him, and I'm not ashamed to say that, because you know what, He can handle it. I question Him a lot. I disagree with Him a lot about a lot of things, but God is God, and I trust Him more than I trust myself. And so as we move forward, we have to stand trusting, just stand in faith, believing that the thing that is in us is of God, you know, the thing that we were born with, that desire. And sometimes we keep it secret. We try to hide it even from ourselves, because you know what, we're afraid of being disappointed. We're afraid of being, disappointed. And it's funny, because you wonder whose opinion is most important, mine, theirs, or His. And it should be His, right? And so the plans He has for us is always better than any plan we can have for ourselves. And so submit to the process and allow God to be in complete control. And let us see where that takes us, moment by moment. So it's moment by moment. That's all, just for the next moment. And the next one after that, and the next one after that. Because I realize that sometimes when I make these big proclamations, it makes it so much harder. So it's a moment by moment thing, and we're going to do this together.